Tune in to Heel of the Ring podcast on the Sports Jedi Network channel. May the sports be with you. Because I am the hero the Sports Jedi deserves, but not the one it needs right now. Long live Lexus King.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Heel of the Ring podcast here on the Sports Jedi Network. Today, we have a special Heel of the Ring podcast. We're going to bring in a special guest, but first, let me say hello to my co-host, the one and only PG, Chris. What's up, Chris?
What is up, everybody? Salute. I don't even really need to give you guys an intro. I'm ready to get started on this one. This is an exciting one. Happy to be here with you guys like always. Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, we had a special guest, a Bronx. You know me from the Bronx, BX Sports Jedi Kev from the Bronx, a Bronx icon, a wrestling independent, one half of the Uptown boys, our abuela's favorite wrestler, the king of the chancla, the one and only Matt. What's going on, Matt? Awesome. Gracias, bienvenido.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
Yes, indeed. I'm excited to have you on. We appreciate your time. We love it. First and foremost, a boy from the Bronx right here. Right now, a man from the Bronx, seeing another person in the Bronx, doing it in the professional wrestling business. It gives inspiration for a man. I see it. I love it. Tell me about your journey coming from the Bronx. How did you get into wrestling first and foremost?
Man, I've been a fan since I was a baby. Like literally, I was trying to suplex at the age of 2, possibly. But it's me and my younger cousin, well, my older cousin, because I have 2 older cousins, but one of them, he put me on to wrestling because he was like a huge fan. And we were like 4 or 5 years old, running around in our little underwears with our favorite wrestlers on the back of them and families' houses. And then my other cousin, who was a huge nerd, just like me, nerds all day. He also was a huge wrestling fan, and it was either his house or my other cousin's house or even in my house. We watching wrestling, playing with the action figures, playing the games on N64, all of that. Like I fell in love with professional wrestling since I was literally in diapers. I fell in love with it. Like my stepfather sat me on his lap to watch freaking Glow, to watch Saturday Morning Superstars. I was in it since the very, very beginning, and it's just a storybook. When I got to a certain age, my uncle used to work with Vince McMahon at one point as a security. Like he did security for SmackDown's premiere, and it was a special place where they did a whole thing in the city. So my uncle's security company was the head security for it, and they wanted my uncle to go and show up for the detail. So he was there hanging out with Vince and hanging out with Triple H in China. And I'm my uncle's favorite nephew, so he wouldn't stop talking about me at all. And he was like, "Hey, he's a huge fan. He loves what you guys do." And Vince was like, "Hey, bring him down one day to the headquarters." And 11, 12 years old, I was in the WWE headquarters in Connecticut, touring it, something that they don't allow the public to do. And as a kid, I did that, and that just opened my eyes to want to be a part of it more. Years pass, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be that old man sitting in a rocking chair watching wrestling saying, man, I could have did that one day. I had to do it. And lo and behold, the few months before I started, I met Steve Pena, another person from the Bronx, Dominicano, freaking amazing, awesome wrestler. Shout outs to Steve Pena. He's the man. They call him the finisher, and he's definitely the finisher when it comes in the ring. We met at a gym working out because I was wearing a wrestling shirt. We were talking about the wrestler, and he was like, "Hey, I wrestle." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Where?" He's like, "Oh, in Queens. It's Johnny Rod's school." So I went. I watched wrestling. I watched him wrestle. I'm like, "Yo, this is actually pretty dope." Fast forward to that February, the year later, 2016, I went to a House of Glory show, and after that House of Glory show, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to do this. And I hit up Steve. I'm like, yo, man, I kind of want to learn. Like, how can I do this? I'm like, give me like 2-3 months. I want to still cut weight. I was a little big, so I want to cut a little more weight so I can be a little more agile in the ring. Got down to 205. And we went trained at the BWF, which is Daro's Extreme Fitness. And they changed locations after the pandemic, but that was our spot. Every Wednesday, a few of us would go, pay $10, have open ring, I would be there from like 2:30, 3 o'clock till about 10 p.m. in that ring, all those hours. Just going in, learning new things, learning from different wrestlers, learning how to do a lucha style, North American style, strong style, all of that. I was learning all of that under one roof, which was amazing. And I had the likes of being able to train with people like Santana, Ortiz, Joey Ace, Ghost Shadow, Azrael. I got in the ring one time with Prince Nana in there. I'm
nice.
I'm his wrestling nephew, so it's like we had that chance to share a ring together for a little while training. EC Negro's another one that taught me a lot in the ring. It's a list of guys that I've been in the ring with, just training and learning the craft. And to now, I'm like, what, 9 years in? 9 years in the game right now? Since 2016 I started to now.
Wow, time goes quick because you just like mentioned all that timeline, with Joni China, and now when you're as a young kid and all that good stuff. My question when it comes to getting in and working with you said on the Johnny Ross or El Muchacho El Dominicano, which is your teacher at your school?
Well, my original trainer, my first ever person to put me in a ring, show me how to take bumps, run the ropes, was Steve Pena at the BWF.
Pena.
Yeah.
I saw your guys' match. I saw it. Was it at Battle Club Pro?
Yes.
Yes, I did see that match the other day. Sorry, I just wanted to chime in there.
BWF was Bronco International School. That's it. That was his ring. That was his school. So if you want to really get technical with it, it's Bronco school. Bronco is my first ever maestro, and he taught me a lot too. Bronco was one of those that he ain't playing no games. Like you have to do drills before you can do any type of work in the ring. Like he'll literally get in the ring with us. That big old dude with a freaking lucha mask would get in the ring with us, brolic as hell, holding up a chair, making us drop kick a chair, having us climb up to the top rope and do crossbodies off the top rope. Like he basically had a special drill that if you couldn't complete it, you couldn't move on to the next step. And I like I said, I had the luxury of training at BWF and being able to learn from so many people to teach me like the ring psychology. Also another person who had a hand in my training was Mantequilla. Mantequilla's another one. He's
okay.
His here, when it comes to wrestling, by far the best. When it comes to structure and psychology, he is somebody I always go to and ask questions. If we're in the same locker room, I'm asking him after my match, go, and he'll go like this to me. I'm like, what's up? Let's talk. He'll make me sit down in front of him and we'll go over everything.
Nice.
Every little thing. And I appreciate that so much. Like Steve Pena was one of the first ones to give me that chance to learn. And he beats my
Chris, you want to give a question? Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm just curious. You're talking about guys you've trained with, and you've named some of my favorites. But I want to know, man, what was kind of like your the match or moment that kind of got you noticed? Because correct me if I'm wrong, I saw the match that you had with Savio Vega, and you also got to have a 6-man tag or something like that with Homicide, which is incredible. What kind of made somebody reach out and like, oh, this guy could have a match with such legends like these, and how did it feel just working with those two legends? Because Savio's, that's one of my uncle or my grandpa's favorites, and that's amazing, and especially the generation difference. How was that all experienced?
Well, basically, I would say it comes down to the people you surround yourself with when it comes to wrestling, and you're not to take anything from AEW, but you're in a circle of people. So I've had the pleasure, again, like I've trained with all these people. I've had the pleasure to be under the learning tree of a lot of them too. So like Mike Santana is one of them that I went through his training. We've had days where I would show up to the Fallout shelter with Steve Pena, and go to like train, and he's there with Ortiz and our boy Joey Ace, and we're literally.
Yeah, I know Joey Ace. Yeah,
I'm learning from them TV stuff. So being around them, being around
Nice.
AC Negro connected me to Homicide.
Okay.
That was back in 2018 is when I met Homicide.
So he was still doing Impact at the time, right? Homicide.
Yes.
Okay.
I met him, and EC Negro was like, "Hey, this guy has followed your work." And trust me, when one of my cousins first brought Ring of Honor to my attention, first person I gravitated to, and that was Homicide, because I'm like, "Yo, a Boricua from New York. That's one.
Yep.
Two, he's doing it the way he's doing it, and he's straight up New York. Like, he's Padrino of the game. I call him that Padrino 100% of the game.
Yeah.
I followed him. I followed Loki, the Hit Squad. Nana with Jimmy Rave. Those are the people I gravitated to. Punk was another one, but not 100% around that time. It was more like a Tyler Black I liked. And
right.
Brian Danielson was another person.
Yeah. I love that. Dude, that Ring of Honor era was amazing.
Ring of Honor, and I was like, yo, my cousin will bring me DVDs like every other week. He'll bring me a different DVD. So I was watching Homicide win the title at Manhattan Mayhem. I watched that match over and over and over again. Like, that was one of my favorite matches from there. And I didn't per se mark out when I was in the locker room with him, because it was funny, because that same show I got in the ring with the late great Vince Steele, who was another person who took care of me in my very beginning too, because another Bronx boy from a few blocks away from where I grew up at. So he took me under his wing at one point too, and he showed me a lot, and he got me into places. So to answer your question about, being noticed with stuff like that, it's, again, the people you surround yourself with, you're in a circle. Yeah. So hanging out with, Homicide, hearing stories from him, car rides to Jersey for wrestling shows, being at his tribute show, hanging out with him.
I saw that. That was amazing.
That show was amazing. Like, it's still, there was a moment in that show that stays stuck in everybody's brain, and that was the Low Life Louis spot. But for the fact that everybody went and put on for Homicide, that was the crazy part.
Yeah.
So when you fast forward to last year, and shout outs to Loud East Wrestling, Adonis Stone, and Grim Reaper for allowing me and Jarrett to be a part of that match with Homicide, because it was only supposed to be me and Jarrett with Homicide versus the Backseat Boys. Unfortunately, Jarrett his England tour, his UK tour, with his shoulder, so he couldn't. Like, it was a legit injury he had, so he couldn't work that day. So of course we all like, damn, what are we gonna get for this third person? And of course we got Jay Lion, Blazing Lion, right? That's right there. He's an honorary member of the Uptown Boys, so it's like, it was cool to have him. And like, it was right after that we were teaming up later around in April again, so it was cool to have like a first time of me and him teaming, and we started around the same time, me and Jay Lion, training basically. So it's like, we had that, and then Homicide, like, leading up to the show, he was DMing me, hey, can't wait, we're gonna have fun. I'm like, yo, Homicide freaking just DM me this. And then it's still like, even though I'm cool with him, we hang out, whatever, we'll talk, still to me it's like young early 2000s me, like, yo, it's Homicide right here. Like 2015, 2014, I was at an Impact show, going around the ring meeting wrestlers with one of my other cousins, and who do I meet and shake his hand? I meet Homicide. And then I take a picture with him after the show, us hanging out in the locker room. And then every time we work together, we've taken a picture together. And I kept it as a memento. So like, he's like, to be in the ring with him. And then of course, when it came to Savio Vega,
that was insane, dude.
To me, it was insane because, again, like I said, early 1900s, wow. Right. 1990s, like early that, like I loved watching wrestling, and I'm like, yo, Boricua showing for the island. Yes. That's the dude, and they're letting him be Puerto Rican. That was the thing.
Yeah, like, that was one of the first you really saw that back in the day.
Look at it. They never allowed wrestlers to be Puerto Rican or Dominican.
I wanted to talk to you about that at one point today, because you bring that up. Okay, so that's bothered me for a long time. It's bothered me for a long time.
I'll pause there. I'm gonna keep on with this, but I'm gonna pause there, then we could keep on with that part.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's bothered me for a long time. That, to me, it felt like it had to take until Backlash for Bad Bunny and Priest for the Puerto Rican culture to be embraced in pro wrestling. And I've already been seeing it with. You're not going to find two guys in this community that talk great and love Mike Santana the way me and Kev here.
Oh yeah.
And we have been watching Mike Santana rep before he was in AEW, rep the Puerto Rican flags in Impact. We saw it again with Homicide and Hernandez with them. We've seen all these other cultures but to me it just felt like Priest, and it took Zelina Vega, another Puerto Rican from the Bronx. Now again around that time, or Queens, I apologize, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just feels now recently it's starting to happen, and that's why I always appreciated Savio, because he is he's the godfather that really started all that.
Yes, that is true. See, like this is my thing, because I had got asked this question at an interview once, and it was how does it feel to represent for your culture?
Yes.
I love it, 100%. I love it because again, representation for Puerto Ricans have not been the best. Like before Damian Priest, it was 50 years ago is when we had a Puerto Rican champion, right? When you fast forward, you have, Calito coming in. Mm-hmm. It was from the Caribbean, never from Puerto Rico, never from San Juan, Puerto Rico, never, right? You had Epico and Primo. They were time share salesmen for the island. Never
that was terrible.
Ridiculous.
Matadors, like let them be Puerto Rican. Now you change the channel, you go to Spike and TNT and TNN, right? And you'll see LAX. You'll see Homicide repping the Puerto Rican flag. You'll see Hernandez repping. You'll see Conan repping, right? So you just literally got to flip the channel and you got representation there. Because when you back in the days, if you want to go back to WCW, right? You had LWO, which was by far, I love the LWO because of this man right here, Mr. Guerrero himself, who's #1 favorite wrestler of all time. I'm gonna put that out there right now.
All right, there you go.
He represented for his people and his culture, and the luchadors always represented strong. But there were some of those luchadors under that mask that were Puerto Rican, but they couldn't really. It wasn't like they weren't allowed to, but they just never showcased
embrace it.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward to even like you said, Santana and Ortiz used to rep it hard body. Hard.
I'm talking hard.
Fun fact: there was a Impact show over here in Queens.
Okay.
I helped out that day, so I was backstage. I was up in the top part, had my flag with me. Ortiz was like, "Yo, you got your flag?" Michael was like, "Yo, you got your flag?" I'm like, "Yeah." They were like, "After the match, throw it at us." I'm like, "That." I still got that flag. That flag comes out with me sometimes. Rolled it up, threw it, and landed right in the ring. He's looking around, sees it, catches it out the air. They open it up and put it on the ropes, and they're in front of the camera with it.
That's why I loved I'm a day one AEW guy, right? I've watched the company since the second ever Dynamite, and I obviously, knowing who Ortiz and Santana are, seeing them actually have the patches on they're coming out with Ortiz is like this I'm like, yo, and then they align themselves with Jericho. Yes, it's great stuff. And again, thank you for that conversation, because I'm happy now. I'm happy now that it's the Puerto Rican representation is being showcased more, and all around, not just WWE, TNA, AEW, even with yourself, Mercedes Martinez, everybody that participated at the House of Glory show, everybody is now doing it. So we thank you for that. We very much thank you for that.
Last year was a movie. It's like I said, my inspiration to get into training was going to the House of Glory show, and then to debut at House of Glory because. Again, Santana handpicked everybody for that show.
Oh.
I was one of those for that show. So to me, being picked for that show was one of my biggest accomplishments, because that proved that there's, besides him helping me along the way, has been helping me since, he believes that I can showcase my talents at a House of Glory level. Because House of Glory, by far, is one of the top promotions in New York City. If not one of the top promotions.
The top promotion in New York City.
And it's basically, to me, to be a part of that, like, yeah, I'm not going to throw shade anywhere else because Battle Club Pro is a great place. It's amazing. We Are Wrestling is also a great place. Amazing. Brings in the best talents. Loud East. Even though we run in Jersey sometimes, we run in the Bronx, we run in Queens, we're running in Queens next month. Another place where you get prime wrestlers. GWA is another place that gets prime wrestlers. All these companies that are in the New York area, House of Glory is like top, like main stage. So for me to hear my music in where they showcase their shows every single month, right? And me having to go through that door and walk down that ramp, I was ecstatic inside. Like I had to hold in my emotions because I was like, yo, I'm gonna cry.
Wow.
Like I was legit felt like I was gonna cry coming out. And I'm like, yo, Mike believed in me enough to put me not only in that scramble match, which by far I feel that scramble match was freaking every talent in that match.
That was
awesome.
Yeah.
Me,
Awesome.
Chris Cage, Pedro Dones, Elijah Eden, and Corey Mack. That right there is like Boricua Central. All of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The opening match to set the tone for the rest of the show.
That was phenomenal.
Think, opening match. No, opening match sets the tone for the whole show. So
exactly.
We had to, and we put on, like even the Chancla put on that night.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, like that show, like part 2's coming, and I'm gonna say it right now here, and I know it's live, and there's people who watch it again later. I want to put my hat in. I want to put my name in to be in the scramble match again this year. I want to do it. I want to be a part of, Puerto Rican weekend again. Like, it was, like I said, it was a movie last year. It's gonna be crazier this year. And yeah, it's hopefully you guys make it out. Like, I know it's the festival. I know it's the day of the festival. The festival ends at 5, but to get a good ride in, just take the train to Grand Central, hop on that LIRR one stop Jamaica Queens, and you get there fast. Start time is 5 o'clock. You can leave the festival at like 3:30, 4 o'clock and get there on time. That's all I gotta say.
Matt, we're gonna send our partner in the channel to represent us because JetBlue won't get me there in time. I'm in Orlando, Florida, and my man is in Allentown.
I'm in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Hershey. So our partner in the channel, he's in Brooklyn. We're gonna buy him front row tickets and we're gonna send him to represent us. But last year I did a watch along on the Puerto Rican weekend, and we're probably gonna do a simultaneous watch along as because from Orlando, Florida, we send a lot of love. If you look at if you go back on my Twitter, I kept tweeting everything, your match with the chancla spot, all that. And while we were doing a watch along, I freaking marked out because era mi gente wrestling, people that look like me doing the same thing. It was phenomenal. I have goosebumps just talking about it right now. It's just seeing in the pride and Carlos Colon in there, with his sons and watching that legend. Because for me, my story, it begins. My grandfather got me into wrestling from all the way to the beginning. One of my mother's favorite wrestlers was Pedro Morales. And you were talking about someone that WWE did not embrace and let him know that he was from Puerto Rico, was Pedro Morales, who is, I believe, is like the 4th longest world champion in the company's history. But you ask people where's Pedro Morales, they'll probably tell you Mexico. No, he was Puerto Rican, and he sold out the Garden. He did that back in those days when it was taboo to say you were Puerto Riqueño. So to see all that there and see that now, and then seeing the evolve of the influence of Puerto Rican wrestling, it just continues to be prideful because we're from the Bronx. I'd be able to move to Florida, be able to go to home, raise my children, but I never forget my roots in the South Bronx, from 149th Street and Wales Avenue, growing up there, going to St. Mary's Park to listen to a kind of festival. So I know all that. And my father had a bodega in Freeman and Southern Boulevard for 13 years, growing up in that part of the South Bronx. When back then the South Bronx was supposedly the Bronx was burning, but you know what? I'm still, whenever, even to this day, I'm still proudful to say I'm from the Bronx. I don't lose the accent. I even, my channel is BX Sports Jedi. It always the Bronx. I'm enamored with this borough that gave birth to us, and to see you wrestling from the South Bronx and the Bronx, that you, Mike Santana, seeing all the wrestlers that come from there. I've been friends with Bobby Munoz, real legit. He does independent wrestling here in Orlando, Florida, in Florida, from the Bronx. It's a pleasure, and I back it up. Bobby?
I wrestled him.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Versus Bobby versus Brother Greatness.
Nice. Small world. I love it.
I won that match. Yeah, I won that match.
Hey. Bobby, I know you're watching this on Instagram. Bobby. You got pinned. I heard.
It's funny. I took that to Mercedes. She probably messed with him too. Mercedes probably messed.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're real tight. They're good friends. Mercedes, yeah. They're good friends. Mercedes, yeah, absolutely. They're absolutely
amazing. Like, she's so cool. We had her at We Are Wrestling, and she the best. That's auntie right there. That's auntie right there.
Nice.
She looks out.
Awesome. I had another question. I see that you're part of the Uptown Boys. Do you see yourself as a singles or a tag team? What style do you like?
To be honest with you, I love them both. Tag team I love because, again, when it comes to the New York scene, and I'd say the Northeast scene, Northeast wise, there's a lot of singles wrestlers. It's very, very saturated, the singles division, which is not bad. It's good because there's a lot of talent there. But where I feel the most comfortable and the most creative is in tag team form.
Nice.
Plus, it's another way to preserve your body because, everybody's, both people are putting 50-50, right? And this wasn't my first tag team. My first tag team was You're Awesome, basically. It was me and Johnny Santos. We were a tag team at the BWF. We were a great team. We got falling out as a tag team. And, a few years later, like a year and a half later, I, stumbled across Jarrett through mutual friends. Both Boricuas from the Bronx. Why not be, hang out, chill. We trained together a few times, and I was like, yo, we should try this tag team thing. And we did a trios at one point where it was me, Jarrett, and Johnny Santos. We wrestled at MV Young's Poly M Colt Party 3 in Brooklyn. And we had a great match with the other competitors. And then me and Jarrett just continued on as a tag team. And we complement each other very well in the ring. He's more high flying. I'm more of the powerhouse, strikes, which I'm getting a little bit lighter on my feet. So who knows, I may fly eventually. But if I want to consider myself a tag team wrestler, I feel like I'm a really good tag team wrestler. Singles, I can hold my ground. I can definitely hold my ground in singles. But I can't pick. Like, that's the thing I love.
Okay. Let me ask you. So you're on your singles, who do you model your wrestling style towards? Like, when you do a singles match, is it, and I don't want to compare it, but is it like a Bully Ray Dudley because of tag team into singles? We use the powerhouse with the psychology, getting the, do you work, and do you also, two-part question, do you work better as a heel or babyface?
I'm more of a babyface, honestly. The people just love me, so it's hard for me to be evil. I can be aggressive. I can be an aggressive face at the end of the day, because those do exist, people. They exist. But honestly, I model my style. My style is, I call it a bit of a hybrid, because I try my best to, like, not only put my own. That's why I call it chancla style. I try to not only embody myself and style, but other wrestlers that came before me. Not regular wrestlers, but Latinos. So some of my style is similar to like Homicide, you could say, a little bit like Eddie Guerrero. You could throw a little bit of Danielson in there, even though he's not Latino. Of course, Santana, because again, I take a little bit of everybody who showed me or taught me a little things here and there. So I use their style to an extent. and I mix it all into one. So that's why I call myself more of a hybrid. So not more of a Bully Ray Dudley. I'm more of a Matt Awesome at the end of the day. It's more Chancla style than anything.
I like it. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. Chris, you got any question you want to give Matt?
I mean, you've got a lot. I see you train a lot of people. Obviously, you've had these great matches. Who is one person that you really, really want to step into the ring? And before you answer this, I don't know if you've wrestled him before. I would love to see you and Kevin Knight go at it. And I know that's your boy.
That's my boy, Kevin Knight. You know what?
I would that match.
I would say
who's your dream opponent?
Who I would want to step in the ring with.
Yeah, who do you want to step in the ring with? Mine, I'm just telling you personally, I would love to see you and Kevin Knight go in the ring together.
Me and Kevin Knight, that'll be fun.
As a fan of Kevin Knight.
There's a few people on my I don't do the Cody list. I never do it. I always throw into the universe and maybe it'll come to me, maybe it won't. Singles wise, I want to wrestle Dan Housing, really, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
It's different. It'll be different for me to do, right? He's one person. Dang, Kevin Knight. Why not? Kevin Knight.
Right? You see what I'm saying, bro? I know because I saw it. I know you guys trained the guy. I was like, dude, like these two would have a good match.
Please, like we've hung out. We've had great conversation together. Kevin Knight's one of them. Smiley's another one. I would love to step in the ring with him one time. Dang, who was I just talking to? Like, yo, we gotta let this happen. This gotta happen one day. Oh man, who? Abraham Khan, the Battle Club franchise champion.
Okay.
I would like to mix it up with him at least one time, and I would like to wrestle Brother Greatness one more time. I think those are all of our matches. Like we've tagged together. We've been in threat matches against each other. We've been in tag team matches against each other. I would like a singles match against Greatness. Honestly, I would like a singles match against them. That would be fun. And you know what? Who else can I throw in there? Sweet Cheeks from House of Glory.
Okay, yeah.
Mix it up with him one time.
Speaking of House of Glory, while we're on that subject real quick, and then I'll throw it back to you, Kev. They just announced they're opening up a school in Orlando, right where Kev is from. I go to Orlando every year. My brother actually lives right down the road from Kev. So would you, could we possibly see you in the future? One, maybe it's kind of a two-part, doing more shows for House of Glory in the future, and then two, maybe stepping into the Orlando, Florida scene, or maybe or do you have some bookings in the future near that area?
Well, when it comes to the bookings in that area, working on it. So you may see me in Florida sooner than you think. House of Glory, they know me. They got my number. So whenever they need an extra body for those amazing scramble matches, they can hit me up. Or if they need a tag team,
and Uptown boys, man.
You're there.
We've wrestled main event before, and we had a hell of a match with them. That to me, that was one of my favorite matches that year.
I love House of Glory, and I'll throw it back to Kev real quick. But I appreciate what House of Glory does. They give us so much. They give us talent from their homegrown to showcase. They showcase guys like you who are in that New York independent scene. And then I love how we just saw Mike Santana versus Takechna. I mean, where else are you gonna see wrestling like that? An independent scene. Where are you going to see Mercedes Martinez versus Indy Hartwell? Where are you seeing? There's no independent company right now doing it like House of Glory. So I appreciate House of Glory for giving us a little bit of everything, man. It's really good. Shout out House of Glory.
There you go. Good job. Yeah, so we were talking about Florida. I know there's Florida Coastal Championship Wrestling here. That they do some shows in Old Town and Kissimmee. You've got all different promotions all across in Central Florida or Florida. If you definitely have a show, I'm going to try to go out there and meet you and just say, just support you and go be a part of it. One thing that Orlando, Florida gives us a chance to go to NXT, to see all the NXT talent, watch all that. I like watching, from the bottom or guys that are starving to get to that next level. It's easier to watch people that already. It's easier to see people on top of the mountain. I enjoy the being part of those and rooting those that want to climb that mountain. I love that. I love that story to see people hungry, that hunger, desire, that wit to climb. Because that's also embarks what's a New Yorker. People that want to climb, to take, to get on top of the mountain. I enjoy that. I gravitate to that. So if you ever, when you have Florida bookings and you are there, we're definitely going to want to personally myself try to go and attend and cheer on and have a cheering section. You have one here in Orlando, Florida. So, going forward here. So I appreciate that. I definitely would love to see that.
Russell, I got family too, so I'm like, that's
nice.
on my list right now. There's a few promotions that I have my eye on. I'm going out there to work with.
Okay.
So CCW is one of them.
CCW,
yeah.
And I know WWN runs out there, and I'm looking into them right now because a few of my boys, they wrestle in both. A few of my boys. Mm-hmm. Jarrett was out there with CCW recently. He wrestled Cha Cha Charlie. So again, working on getting out there because again, I want to wrestle in front of my family out there too. I have my sister and my brother-in-law is out there. I have aunts and cousins out there that would love to see me wrestle live. So that's a place I'm working on. North Carolina is another place that I'm working on, possibly, or South Carolina.
Any Pennsylvania?
Listen, I may have to take a trip with a few of my friends to PPW out there to see what's up.
Okay, no, because the Pennsylvania independent scene's kind of growing out here. In my city, our local trainer is Ricardo Rodriguez, former ring announcer for Alberto Del Rio. He's doing a lot of MLW shows. He actually just brought Savio Vega. He brought us, he brings a lot of the outside guys, like Savio. He brings Zaya Brookside from TNA. He brings a lot of the well-known names to bring with their town. So hopefully we can see you in Pennsylvania soon.
Three
Legacies Wrestling. Yep.
When I said
I live right down the street from Three Legacies Wrestling.
You know what? I'm gonna reach out to Ricardo then because I kind of
reach out to Ricardo and I'd love to meet you. I go to all the shows. Ricardo, Three Legacies Wrestling. They know who I am on Twitter. They know who I am on social media. So
yeah, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna reach out.
Reach out. I will definitely. I love to meet you because, like I said, I go to the shows. They know who I am. So that'd be cool. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Cool. Definitely.
Nice. Now let me ask this question: dream scenario matchup. I'm gonna give you an opportunity. We're gonna get you, pal. We're gonna put you in WrestleMania because I think everybody wants to have a WrestleMania match. Fanny book. Who's the one wrestler, dead, alive, or I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but give me one that's not with us or dream, and then one that's currently that right now, like we could book it WrestleMania in New Orleans. Let's fantasy book a little bit. Why not? Everyone else does it on IWC.
Someone who's no longer with us, I'd say me versus Eddie Guerrero.
Yes,
I would love to put myself in that challenge because to me, he's by far he is the blueprint of whatever. He's the blueprint of what we do now, to me. Like how Santana wrestles, how Homicide does it, how mind you, Homicide got a chance to be around him at one point with Ring of Honor. I would say Eddie Guerrero. I want to get put into that scenario where I'm getting coached at the same time as I'm working. Like I want that. I want that. And for somebody now, WrestleMania moment. Hold it till Mania, New Orleans, Dominic Mysterio. I want to wrestle Dominic Mysterio.
Oh.
See,
let's go.
I will use the chancla on him. There's a difference,
There, you see that. He's living the gimmick, brother. I love it.
Listen, Boricua versus Dominicano, that'll be fun. And I think, honestly,
and then
I can keep up with Dom. I feel I could definitely keep up with Dom.
Hell yeah.
And then you have Carlito backstab him and join you.
How about this one? How about this? If we're talking tag team,
Mm-hmm.
Have one.
Ooh, I want to hear this one.
The Uptown Boys versus Street Profits.
Ooh.
Okay.
And if
I guess you got your hands full with Dawkins.
I'm going to go to the past, right? Uptown
Yeah,
Boys
let's go to
versus
the past.
Mysterio and Guerrero. Well,
Nice.
Ray and Guerrero when Rey Mysterio lost his mask when they were the Filthy Animals.
Right.
So
Filthy
Okay.
Animals, okay.
The Uptown Boys.
Nice. I love it.
That's booking in my mind right now.
See, so we're talking a lot of wrestling here, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious to know, Matt, what's kind of, I'm not going to ask you what your favorite promotion is, but I'm kind of curious, right? What's kind of your favorite, quote unquote, like, I guess like one of your favorite ones to watch, right? And the reason why I'm asking is because to me, we see AEW with like, they're really heavy on the wrestling. A lot of people could argue. Again, I'm just alluding to what the bums in the IWC say. AEW alludes to more wrestling. WWE's more story, and for me, TNA gives you a little bit of the both, which is why I love that product so much. What's kind of your favorite product? Is it more of the quote unquote 5-star matches, or do you want to see stories for you to be invested, for you to want to watch the next Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, or vice versa?
Dang. To me, still trying to get signed, bro. Man, you gotta chill with that one. But what I would say is
that's why I'm more talking about like the styles.
I'm an addict when it comes to wrestling. I'm literally an addict when it comes to wrestling. So, and
there you go.
People can say that know me personally, can say I'm an addict for wrestling, and I just can't get enough of it sometimes. And I watch Monday nights. I watch sometimes on Tuesdays. I watch Wednesdays. I watch Thursdays. I watch Fridays. I watch Saturdays. And if there's a pay-per-view on Sundays, or I'm watching GCW on Sundays off through my phone. Honestly, I love them all, and there's a reason why.
Me too.
Each of them, because you're right about TNA. TNA gives you a little bit of both. You get great matches, and you get great stories. AEW, they're getting more along the lines of having those great stories now, when they did in the past. But a lot of
absolutely
those stories, because at that time you only had Dynamite and Rampage, and Rampage was always taped. So it's like, oh, what we're gonna get, and if you were at that tape, already at that taping, you already knew what was gonna happen. Versus Collision being some of the time Collision is live now, so it's like you're getting a little bit more better stories now. You go to the WWE, you're always going to get the better stories. You're going to get great matches, but you're going to get more theatrical stories. I love a taste of each of them, because
I love that.
Being in the level that I'm at, because I'm never going to say lead. The level that I'm at, we have to learn all of that. We have to learn how to tell a story. We have to learn how to be athletic in the ring. We have to learn how to tell that story in the ring when we're moving around, because we don't have shows 2 to 3 times a week with that same storyline. Example, me versus Jay Bougie.
Yes.
It started that match started September 2023. He cheated me out of my win when that was my redemption match.
Yes.
Fine. Didn't get another show until that February when we went on 1. Won the title, but by default, his partner, his boy, put his foot on the ropes, and they overturned the whole thing. Lost the title in a few seconds because he lost. We're telling a story there, but we kept on jawing back and forward online. We kept on keeping the story alive. Thank you for social media when it comes to that.
Yes.
Back and forward, keeping the whole storyline going until the Lo Que Pasó show with We Are Wrestling at the Pegao versus Con Con match. Again, representation. He came in, ruined the match, no contest. Hit me with a chair to keep it going. You get the former tag team to come back in September, which was me and Johnny Santos versus him and PB Smooth.
Perfect.
They win. We go off to our final match. Fans bring the chanclas match. Get over. So it's that dog chasing.
I love that.
The fire truck gimmick. Oh, almost got it. Nope, I don't got it. Almost got it. Got it. Oh, got it. I finally met it because they stopped to put out a fire.
I love that because I don't like tribalism. I absolutely hate it. I think we should all appreciate a little bit of. That's why I love all. I have merchandise from AEW, TNA, indie shows. I love that so much because I don't like the tribalism. I like what everything has to offer for us.
Listen, different streets for different folks. At the end of the day, everybody's
absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's why there's different colors. That's why there's different TV shows. There's different music because
Absolutely.
everybody's not like the same thing. So you're gonna get those people that WWE is the best ever, and then you got those people AEW is the best ever. One of my coworkers, we talk about it every day. Yo, AEW's putting on prime matches. WWE ain't nothing. I'm like, okay. Oh, you're a WWE tribal guy. I'm like, no, I have friends in both promotions, and I love TNA. I have friends all over, so it's like
exactly.
watch to one, support my friends. Two,
exactly.
I study
I
so
agree.
much, so it's like I can't be a fan of just one. I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm in the
It
business.
is impossible. Even for a fan like me, it's literally impossible.
Yeah,
Because,
I appreciate that. Definitely.
Go ahead, Kev.
I was going to say about since you're in the business, right? You appreciate how the sausage is made because you're part of it, and that's what a lot of people get the misconception. Oh, I'm waving the flag for this company because I'm being paid. No, because you have, like you said, friends. You've been in there, waking up. You have taken those bumps. You have put your body through all the different ups and downs in this professional wrestling business. So when people say, "Would you like better?" You love it all because the more companies around, the more opportunities like yourself is going to have, and other friends of yours or up and coming, inspiring wrestlers for the next generation. My question to you is, me personally, I wish there was wrestling when I was growing up in the mid 80s. I went to do karate. We had karate and Golden Gloves boxing back in the 80s, early 80s to late 90s or mid 90s for when I grew up. I wish there was wrestling. Now there's hope with the WWID, where there are a lot of independents. How hard or how easier it is to get in the wrestling business that you think from yesteryears?
There's schools all over, but what I would say about schools is I'd say go and pick the right school, right? Like me, it wasn't just going to BWF because one, funds were easier for me to basically pay to go and train at BWF. It was the intuition I got from them. Everything I got, all the education I got from when it comes to wrestling, the training. Again, learning all the different styles. A lot of schools do that, but I got the chance to train with a lot of people around that time. Find a good school, reputable school. House of Glory, Fallout Shelter is another good one. You got Creative Pro, which is Wrestle Pro, I believe now. Yeah, Monster Factory. Somebody put that up there, Monster Factory. If you want to go all the way out to South Jersey for that, there's so many places you can go and train. It's getting the right teachers and dedication. Like you really have to dedicate yourself to basically feedback, because you're gonna get feedback. That roll was the shits. Get back up there and do it again. You're gonna roll until you're dizzy, like you want to throw up. You gotta have that dedication. You gotta have that drive to do it, the passion. I remember when I first started, Santana was there, and he pulled me and Lion aside, and we had a great conversation, like a private conversation. And one of the things that he said was, "Why are you doing this? Like, why do you want to do this?" And I told him straight, I'm passionate about it, something I really love and I'm dedicated to. And he was like, "Okay." He was like, I want to see you go places. I want to see you do things." And sure enough, whenever he was there, I had a chance to kind of pick his brain. When he started the foundation, which was a little boot camp that he set up, like training school at the BWF, I took part in a few training sessions. I did it. I was doing the pre. I always call it the pre-foundation. Like before he started doing it, he was trying to get a group of guys together to get into it, and I was a part of that before. Because he would do it on the days that I was able to go, because my job always gave me off that day, so I would always be in the gym that day training. And then when he actually got the foundation going, it was on days that I wasn't off of work most of the time. So when I would get those days off, I would try my best to go and put in some classes with him. And I had that. I was lucky enough to have that time in the ring and learn from him, who was in TNA, right? At that moment, he was in TNA, killing it and doing it, like doing great work in TNA. When LAX came, when LAX when they recreated them, basically.
Yes.
And then also being at BWF and being able to train with Azrael and Ghost Shadow. These are two guys that you go back to those early Ring of Honor days, they were killing it against the SATs and Quiet Storm. They were killing it against Loki. I had a chance to train with these guys, and they taught me a lot of like technical wrestling, and I learned technical from them. I learned one day I was in the ring training with Super Crazy at BWF, learning lucha. I was learning the lucha style. So I had the chance to get a mix of all styles to then go to like be able to do these shows like House of Glory and all of these other places, and being able to adapt to whoever I'm facing. Oh, you like wrestle this style? Cool, I can wrestle with you. I'm cool. I can run this style. Like go to school that could do that. I know House of Glory has, since they have Amazing Red, they have lucha style. You can learn. They got Mantequilla. Mantequilla's great at that too. Then you got like Fallout Shelter. You have people like Steve Pena that'll teach you really good technical work and good footwork. Also, you got Prince Ahmed, who's another amazing wrestler. I had a chance to work with him before. He's great at technical work. Jorge Santi's another one. He's great at teaching you how to tell that story in the ring and how to move. He used to be a stuntman for Marvel at one point, for the Marvel live show that was going around state to state. He was one of the stuntmen there. So it's like you're learning how to do the right stuff with these people. Masha's a trainer at that school. You're learning from the TNA Rock champion. Now Masha's another one. From the very beginning at BWF, I've had a chance to get in the ring with Masha to train before she got signed to all these places. Early Masha, like it's crazy. Like going to BWF, I learned so much, and that's kind of like how the Fallout Shelter is too. I would say that you can learn from so many people. Some people sometimes just show up there. Like Santana shows up there and does a class every now and then with a few of the students that are there right there. He'll take over the class and he'll work with them. Like it's get a good school, because the moment you get a good school under your belt and you work their student shows, you pay your dues, that opens a lot of eyes to people. You got to be present on the social media platform. You got to do a lot. And it's a lot easier to get into the business that way because you have somebody like Tommy Invincible. I'll just throw his name out there. He's a funny guy. He's cool. I've hung out with him in the locker room.
Love that guy. I love that guy.
He figured out the cheat code, I'm guessing, and look at him. He debuted at Hammerstein this year against Matt Cardona for GCW. He was mentioned on a podcast to Triple H.
Pat McAfee. I was watching the Pat McAfee Darius because when they were doing the Randy Orton, Darius Butler, he was like, we should get Tommy. And everyone started going like, everyone was like, oh, we know about AJ. Like, yeah. He's from the Bronx, right?
Present. Yeah. He actually is.
Yeah.
He found a way. He found a cheat code to be present on social media, and something about him that just opened the doors. Like this, it's my boy Tim. My boy Tim's not even a freaking wrestler, and he's doing Subway Mania. And he got highlighted at the WrestleMania intro video.
Oh, wow.
WrestleMania, and Jey Uso even put the video over. He's not even.
I saw that.
I saw that. Yeah, the Subway. Yeah,
the guy's eating in the corner with him. Like, it's by far like.
So
that's the way
we saw him last year at the Puerto Rican on House of Glory show. Did he wrestle part of that Subway entertainment part?
No, that was they were just there to they were doing their content there for Subway Mania. But
okay.
He wrestled. They did a wrestling match for Invictus Takeover, STP versus the Takeover a few years back. They wrestled on that show because there's like two guys that are with that actually trained wrestlers. And then him and his other boy, they're not trained wrestlers, but they do good. they do their thing. I give them their props because you could find an empty train car and do all of this. It's crazy. Like the last one, he even said it to me. He's like, "Yo, Matt, this was the most people we've ever had. Like the train car was packed. Like we had to back so they had space to wrestle, and it was a ladder match at that. So,
oh my God, really?
but it's fairly easy now with outlets now. Like you don't have to send your VHS tape to the headquarters so they can watch your matches. Like you can literally like that's why I do what I do. I'll, like right now, like maybe starting next week, I'm gonna take my last 2 matches and put them on my YouTube because people got to go to those channels to find my matches. By all means, go find those promotions and watch their shows because they have great talent. They have great matches on there. But like, it makes it easier for people who want to find, oh, what's Matt Awesome up to? Let me watch his matches. Yeah. Let me watch his matches back from 2022. Let me watch his matches from 2 years ago, a year ago. Like you can find them now, all in one spot. Like, and it makes it a lot easier for promotions looking for me. Or say I send my stuff to AEW and they need like 2 matches of mine, 1 tag team, one singles.
Right.
I can send a singles match. I can send them a tag team match. Just sending them the link from that my one page. And then if they want to just go through the rest of them, they can.
Nice. There's opportunities, but that's the positive of the social media and the digital world that we are now. It's so much easier to get recognition, to be seen, to be heard, and get a following, which we appreciate it. So whenever you got content out there, you just let us know. We push it. We'll support it. We'll retweet it. We'll give it to the moon because you don't know how thankful and grateful we are that you're here this afternoon with us on there. Chris, any other questions before?
No, we appreciate the 1,000 people that are in the chat, and most importantly, Matt, we appreciate your time, dude. Thank you so much. This is a conversation we wanted to have for a long time. My first, match or impression I saw of you was at the House of Glory show, which when I got the text, I was like, oh my God, like I was very excited. So thank you so much for your time, dude.
Nah, thank you so much. Listen, if you want to watch any of my matches, go right onto my YouTube and watch.
I have.
Like
that's why I saw your match. That's why if you noticed, I mentioned Battle Pro before you did.
Yes, Battle Club. Now
because I saw your match with Steve Pena on your YouTube channel.
That was one of the hardest hitting matches I've ever had.
You took some bumps on that one.
Listen, I didn't go down without a fight. I fought back.
No, it was good. I watched the whole thing, and that's why I wanted to mention that. But no, seriously, Matt, appreciate your time.
That match to me was like that to me was a very important match also for me because one,
he was your trainer.
He trained me. 2, that's my best friend. Like he's my best friend. See, when we met in 2015 before I started training, and we were friends. We became friends. Then he trained me, and then we became best friends through that whole time frame. And I'm there for him as much as he's there for me whenever we need to talk to each other. And to walk in that day for that Battle Club taping, and Joakim Morales, who runs Battle Club, pulls me aside. He was like, "Yeah, the person we're gonna put you to wrestle with, they're not gonna be able to make it. So you're wrestling Pena." I'm like, "I'm wrestling who?" You're wrestling Pena. I'm like, "Does Pena know he's wrestling me?" He's like, "When he gets here, I'm like, "Damn." So as soon as he gets there, I'm downstairs in the locker room getting dressed. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna die tonight. I'm going out a blaze of glory tonight. And he comes downstairs. He's quiet, getting changed up. He's like, "So, you ready to die today?" I'm like, "Let's go ahead and kill me. Let's go." And then we literally.
It was hard. But I'm sure after that he was like, okay, this guy got something.
You could see
I'm
it.
sure the respect. Exactly. I saw it at the end. You can tell his level of respect for you went up a little bit in that moment there.
Exactly. So like, it wasn't only him after that match. Like it was also Joakim at the very end of the match.
Yes.
He embraced me, gave me a big hug.
Yes.
In that hug, he was like, "Yo, I'm proud of you." Like, he gave me a hug. He told me, "I'm proud of you." As I'm walking and I get to the back and the commentators go to the back, Rembrandt comes up to me, gives me a pound, gives me a hug. He was like, "Yo, I thought we were going to have to put up EMT for you because we thought you were going to die." I'm like, "I'm alive though. I'm good. I'm walking. I'll feel it tomorrow." And sure enough, I had Pena's handprint on my chest for about a good week from them chops. Because I mean, you think Gunther's chops are crazy? This man trained with Gunther at one point, and Timothy Thatcher. He trained with them out in Germany for like a whole 3 months. This man hits hard. I've been chopped by Santana. That man hits hard. I didn't like it. I don't like it.
We just got done on Sunday. We do our streams, our watch along streams, and we were watching the Santana and Ali match live right here, and you can go back, dude. It was insane, right, Kev? Dude, we were just sitting here like, because you see every single match he has. And again, we've been fans of him for years and years and years, and every single match he has, I mean, he's jumping, he's bleeding, like, and it's so intense. Like, yes, I love it. I love it.
That was a hard-hitting match, and the other match that I feel was a good match. Like, I actually enjoyed the match. Was the series that me and Bougie had. Me and Bougie's matches were, I feel, like some of the top-notch matches that I've had, honestly. And then if you want to go a few years back, me and Lucas Chase was a good one. So if you want to go back into my, because I think I had it set up as a playlist too.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Me and Lucas Chase for PPW or PAPW, freaking hard hitting, demolished each other. Me and Fly 9 Noriega was another hard hitting match. Me and Jarrett, we actually went at it 1-on-1, and we beat each other up a bit. That was another good one. Again, I'm facing my brother basically, and it was fun.
Yeah.
But like it's these past few years, I've been becoming more into my own with the whole Mad Awesome setup, because I always tell people, be organic, and when you're gonna be yourself, turn it up, and that's all Mad Awesome is. Mad Awesome is me turned up, like, and it's just fun. Like, I just love it. It's in every single match you see me changing. Like, even tag team wise, we had we wrestled the Prospects and the Wave January 18th this year, which I'll be putting that on my page soon, but you can find it under Greatest Wrestling Alliance. It'll be on Richard Ruiz. It'll be on Richard Ruiz Productions page. That's where you'll find all the indie shows that's in the New York area, tri-state area. Prospects versus the Uptown Boys versus the Wave. That match, I told Jerry, we're going to do an ode to Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. He was like, what move? So I gave him the spot. He was like, all right, we do it. After we watched the tape back up, he's like, we keeping that. I'm like, we are keeping that. I just got to add the tilt back to it, and we're keeping it. We did it at the last show. I didn't do the tilt backbreaker. We did a combination of it, but we're keeping that. Again, I'm a huge Eddie Guerrero inspired wrestler. And I gotta use, like, every year I try to incorporate something of Eddie Guerrero in my style. Like, every year. Frog Splash is coming soon. It's coming soon.
I was going to say that Puerto Rican Day. I'm looking forward.
Puerto Rican weekend. That'll be again. If I'm booked in that scramble match, I will do a Frog Splash.
Yes,
we'll be watching it.
It will not be a Frog Splash. It'll be a Coquille Splash.
There we
go. We will be watching it live.
Off the middle rope. If I do off the middle rope, you can call it the Coquille Splash. Let's see what happens.
I like it.
Like,
you heard it here first. There you go. I love it. I love it.
I got a few shows coming up, people. So, I'll work my way to it. But I have like 3 coming up this May. And then hopefully Puerto Rican weekend in June. And then I know July I have Respect the Craft, which is from my boy Raymond Sanchez. He's doing his first ever wrestling show. And me and Jarrett will be in the building. And that's July 19th. Nice. I believe July 12th I'll be out in Puerto Rico wrestling for the first time.
Oh, nice.
Bucket list.
Is that going to be your first time?
Yeah.
Nice.
I
was gonna say, you know what? I can't believe we didn't even think of that. Yeah, so that's a bucket list of yours, and you're gonna be wrestling in Puerto Rico. That's awesome. Do you have any? Obviously you probably do, but any relatives out there that you're excited to maybe put a performance on?
And I have an aunt out there right now.
Okay.
This is my family all live over here, so
Right. Yeah. Kind of like
Same.
me too. I have some that live here, but most of my family live here. Right.
Yeah, I have some family.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Well, that's all. That's definitely a bucket list moment right there.
All right.
Well, and one my final question. I appreciate you joining us. All that. If you had a chance to go wrestle in Japan, would you jump on a plane to go wrestle?
Oh hell yeah, I would go to Japan and wrestle. Definitely would.
I
Only
know.
because
I
it's
was. Yeah.
and I would love to see it. Like, a few of my boys are. Well, one of my boys is going out there now, Rob Martyr, who a lot of people don't know. He is also Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican black. He's going out there very soon to wrestle. My boy Akira's out there right now wrestling. A lot of us have been out there to wrestle, which is actually dope, and it's like a huge achievement for a lot of people. I would love to go to Japan. One, I would love to go to Japan, hands down. But to be able to wrestle out there, that would be dope. That would definitely be dope. I want to wrestle in Canada.
Yeah.
Wrestle in Canada.
Yeah, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. You never know.
Yep.
There's C4 out there too. You never know.
C4. Yep. C4.
Yeah.
As well. But again, we have all his information scrolling on the bottom here for Matt Awesome. Please follow his YouTube channel right there at Concrete Me 117. You can follow him on X. You can follow him on Twitch, on YouTube, on X. Please support with merchandise. One thing that we stress with a lot of these wrestlers from independent, even the professionals, one way you show your love, your support by cheering and rooting for them, but also buying their merch. We definitely have to purchase merchandise because that helps them. That tells them we appreciate and we thank you, especially the shirt with the chancla. I need it. I need it yesterday, and I can't wait to get that. So we need to find that or whatever. All that information is there. If you want to book him, wrestling promotions, you have his link tree underneath there. Check it out. He's taking bookings. We want to put him over. We want to get him to where the sky's the limit. Doesn't matter what promotion, where it is. We want to see him wrestle, and we're gonna say, hey, we can say friend of the show, and we conversate with our fellow Boricua, fellow Bronx Knight, and we want to make sure that he continues to get over and help others, because I know he paves the way for others. That there might be a kid out there in the South Bronx that might get inspired. Listen, one thing I did, I played baseball. I stopped playing baseball. You know what I did? I coached Little League for 5 years because I couldn't play. I'm going to teach whatever I learned talent wise. I'm going to spread it to other kids. And I'm pretty sure you do the same with the wrestling business and all that stuff. Give it back, pay it forward. And we need more folks like you. And we really appreciate that, Matt. Thank you again.
Thank you. Always pay it forward, people. No matter where you are, whatever profession you're under, pay it forward. Homicide Olam, Homicide, freaking Darius Carter, Ruthless Lala. The list goes on of wrestlers. EC Negro was another one. He taught me the business part of things, but they all paid it forward and at least dropped some gems on me so that, I could slowly mold myself into where I'm at right now.
Right.
Yes, appreciate it. Chris, your final question or your final statement, and we're going to say good night because we got other streams later on.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody. Make sure after this, 7:30, next game on the playback, 8 o'clock, I will be hosting NXT. Make sure you guys check us out there. Again, Matt, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. This is a conversation me and Kev have been waiting to have for a while, so we thank you so much for the hour you gave us, and we're excited to see, you keep killing it. And like Kev said, no matter where you're at, you're always going to have supporters here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, fellas, for having me. Anytime, if you want to have the tag team on, let us know.
Yes, that was my next thing. We want
to talk to the Uptown boys.
Yes. We need to talk to the Uptown boys. We want to hear from you guys, definitely.
Maybe with some gold, because we're out.
Oh.
The Uptown boys get some gold. We're out for gold. That's it. We only want gold. We need some hardware. My waist is a little bare. I need it.
Let's go. We're gonna have it.
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Yep. Any company.
That is
GWA, Shadow, BST in Connecticut. Hey, you got a tag team. We want some gold. Your tag team champions looking a little like off, we can take them from them. We can make things better, and we represent your company a lot better because we got the Jared Diaz brand and you got the Chancla brand over here. We can, trust me, things will look better.
There you go. And you have it right there from the one and only, your grandmother's favorite wrestler, Mr. Matt Awesome. This is the Heel of the Ring podcast on the Sports Jedi Network from BX Sports Jedi Kev, PG Chris, and Matt Awesome. May the sports be with you. Remember, don't get pinned by life. Always kick out and get yourself over. So with that said, guys, buenas noches. Que Dios lo bendiga. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.